Ever since the pandemic happened, things in Japan have changed moderately, but it's mostly still the same. However, I heard one of the craziest places in Tokyo had changed for the worst. That's Akihabara. I've heard that the Sega buildings are now owned by a different company, that there's not as much craziness as there used to be. I was literally in the area, so let's go explore a post-pandemic Akihabara. On first glance, it looks like everything is basically the same, except there's just different names for buildings that are used for the same purpose that they were before. These are the old Sega buildings. If this was run by Sega, you would see a very similar setup through multiple levels of video games, crane games, and UFO catchers, as they call them out here. Though this area is themed to Gundams, it smells like sweat and, I don't know, pent-up testosterone in here. There's seriously like 4 floors of this. That's just 4 up and down floors of this. So the game centers are still there, and if you're thinking, oh man, I missed Akihabara, the true Akihabara before the pandemic. No, it's still mostly the same with a different name. And if for some reason you're like, oh man, I really want to do a maid cafe, don't worry, those are still here too, if you were so inclined to do that, except there's not as many as there were before. A couple of the buildings are unoccupied, but to be honest, I don't think you'd miss them if you didn't know they weren't there. To me, the strangest thing in Akihabara is down this alleyway right here. It's a bunch of vending machines. One that features a bunch of pictures of girls that looks like they're idols, if you really want those pictures. Maybe there's more, I'm not sure. But there's also just a sidewalk Street Fighter 2 game that you can play for $1. You can play on a machine in an alleyway here in the city of electric light. I mean, that's wild, right? But I don't want to know how many people touch this thing, so I'll just let it go. How long has it been there for, right? On the topic of video games, one of my favorite places in Osaka to go to was a place called Super Potato. Now, admittedly, they're a little expensive, but it's really cool to wander around and see the retro games and things of a bygone era that they have inside of there. And the one in Akihabara does not disappoint. Contra to Super Potato, if this is stuck in the past, then Yodobashi Camera is definitely forward-thinking. You can find this place in pretty much every major city in Japan, but it's been described to me as a place where if it was made, you can find it. And I'm not saying if you come here, you need to see this place, because you don't. However, if you want the experience of seeing the height of technology and what games have to offer, this place will have pretty much everything that you need. There used to be a Square Enix cafe right outside of it, but that went the way of the dodos, or I guess the way of the cats, because now it's a cat cafe. And it's an actual cat cafe. There's not actual girls in there dressed as cats, which you can find sometimes too. Which segues easily into this building. I've seen a lot of depraved things in my life, but you walk in there and you just open your world to a whole bunch of new depraved things. And you know, I had to go across the bridge to see if that strange vending machine area still exists, and Lord knows, it's still there. So you're in luck if you're in Tokyo. You can get your bells, your bugs that you want to fight with, you know, can of peas, oden, hate-filled cookie jar, ball, a toy car, and of course carrots, which are very important for your eyes. So with all the changes, is there anything that you'll be missing if you came here now? Not really. Everything's mostly the same. It's just got different names, and some buildings don't have things in them right now. But for the most part, it's exactly the same that you see for the last 10 years, just with different names. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.